Good morning, folks. A 44 degree yet sunny and clear morning here in Gettysburg. Just a couple more days now until all the movie events. Should be fun. Had a morning, Andy. I don't know, First Lieutenants, if you saw the video yesterday, the live stream with my interview with Matthew Leach, or of my interview with Matthew Leach from Band of Brothers. Morning, Zach. Had a really nice, I thought, a nice conversation with Matthew. I don't know about you, I'm just fascinated by how they make movies, the process of it and everything. And when you hear about how Steven Spielberg's company works, and the way they do things, I mean, a lot of it's pretty standard stuff, but he kind of just goes above and beyond. I don't know if you heard, there was a part, I think he said it was when they were shooting the Carentan scene, and he said behind one of the buildings where all the fighting was taking place, there was like a Parisian cafe street layout that never made it anywhere. It wasn't built for the film, it was just built for the actors' sake, so that they, I guess, realized or felt like, we're having this battle in someone's hometown. People live here, people go about their daily business here. And, I mean, it helps to have hundreds of millions of dollars for your budget so that you could do things like that. Now, most movie companies don't do that because you just don't have it in the budget. But I just think that's so cool. It's really neat to see and hear how the big dogs do it. Good morning, Babber. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, James. Oh, thank you, Eric. Glad you enjoyed the interview. Andy's still saving his blood money to upgrade. Come on, Andy, some more blood. How much do you need? How much do you need? Eric says, it was interesting to hear how everyone had to act like they were in the scene. Yeah. And it makes sense, though. I mean, I think that's why they made guys. So usually on a movie, right, if they're shooting a scene on a given day and you're not in that scene, you have the day off. But according to Matthew, they didn't do it that way. If you weren't in the scene, you still had to be there, still had to be in uniform. And I guess I think what he was saying was that maybe once in a while they'd grab you and throw you in the background or something like that. But that, I think psychologically for the actors does a lot of stuff, because what did he say the guy who played Luz was doing? He was just griping that it was a bunch of dog shit making them do that. And what do guys do in the Army? They gripe. They complain, and they're made to do things that make no sense, and by the end of the day you're like, what the hell was that about? And they bitch and moan about it. So they're like putting you in the Army. That's really smart filmmaking, I think. You force people to... It's funny, I remember when I was a little kid, I told my dad I want to make movies one day. I mean, well, nobody really does, makes a living doing it. That's really hard to do and everything. And I said, I want to do it. And I go, but the thing is, when I make a war movie, I'm not going to use makeup to make them look dirty. I'm going to make them be dirty. And he goes, nobody would ever do it. You wouldn't have anybody that would agree to that. And here, Steven Spielberg gets people to do it all the time. He gets them to do things that most other people would say nobody would ever do that. Now, it's because he's Steven Spielberg. If Matt Callery ever became a filmmaker, then nobody would be doing that for Matt Callery, because Matt Callery would not have the hits that Steven Spielberg had. But glad to see my thinking was the same. So yeah, that was cool. And after we finished, I said, hey, can you hook me up with the other guys? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. Who do you want? And I'm like, all of them. Anybody I can get my hands on. So he's like, I'll put you in touch with my producer, and then you guys can figure it out. So that's good. And then also he's moved Northern Virginia area, I believe. So that will be cool. Us on AG today, just goof around. Said love to, mate. So that was fun. Andy says, a lot, Matt, you would be surprised. What was that in reference to? The blood? How much blood do you need? Yeah, okay. I believe you. Well, Andy, you know, you can always wait 6 months to a year for the episodes to come out. You don't have to do it now. I mean, you'll hear them eventually. It just won't be as fun because you'll be hearing them with everybody else. Angie says good morning. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Dustin. This morning, I have a meeting with Chris Gwynn. And then this afternoon, I am recording an episode with Ralph Siegel about Carl Schurz shirts. Wait, are we doing shirts? Yeah, I think it's shirts. Morning, Tom. Hey, Tom, I forgot that you know Garnier. When you mentioned that in the comments yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Let me know when he says he's ready to come on the show. Yeah, Marie, I love British accents, even the more vulgar ones. I just think they're, I don't know, they're music to my ears. Those and a really nice Southern accent. There's some that are not so easy to listen to, only because it's hard to understand what the hell they're saying. But there's some Southern accents that are very nice, musical. Wow, it is a beautiful morning. Tom says he's a good friend. I'll ask Frank. Remind me to tell you a Hank story from when I attended a dinner with him. All right. Will do. You're coming out next week, right, Tom? I enjoy Sam. Who? Hans? Scottish. Who's he? I don't know that guy. Trying to get Steve Zahn on also, but he's always working. Yeah, I would love to get Steve Zahn on. I asked Gary to do it. I think certain people, they'll help you with certain people, but then other people, they kind of like are, I don't want to say gatekeeping, but protective of. And I think it's mainly because they don't want, like Gary doesn't want to bother him and be like, hey, because he did a lot of stuff for Gary and he doesn't want to abuse it. I'd love to have Steve Zahn on. I always thought he was funny, but he's also a good serious actor as well. Yeah, Tom, please, help a brother out. I'm thinking, what do you guys think of this? I'm thinking of starting a separate show. Nothing to do with history or Gettysburg, but just interviewing people that I find interesting. I kind of do it on Patreon, and I always try to find some, lame tie-in to Gettysburg, and then we never talk about Gettysburg, because I just find people interesting. And I meet a lot of them through what I do. It's nice to live in a destination town because all the interesting people come to you. You don't have to go find them. So they come to your town, you bump into them, people who know them, whatever the case may be. And so it's easier to get these people. And I don't know, I just have a genuine interest in people and their stories. And I would love to be able to do a show where I just sit and talk with them about themselves or whatever. But I didn't start off with that type of a show because how do you get noticed? Being generic. What is that even called? What is that genre called? People, I don't know. So you got to kind of do something that people will be searching for already, Gettysburg, and build an audience that way. And then, if they're gracious enough, say to that audience, hey, here's this other thing I'm doing. You might be interested in that as well. And it has nothing to do with history. It's just interesting people. I wonder if I would lose a big chunk of the audience, or if the audience would carry over to that other show. Or should I just keep doing it on Patreon? Cloudy and cold in Michigan this morning. Perfect day for lazing about. It is, it's cold here. Not cloudy, cold. I'm not ready for the winter. We had a pretty mild summer. It got hot, but normally you get no spring, and then, you get maybe 2 weeks of spring, and then bang, it's 80 degrees in like early May, and then it's 80 or more until middle or end of October. This year, we actually had a spring for basically the extent of the season spring, for how long it was supposed to be. It really didn't start getting hot in like 80 or above until like June-ish, mid-June-ish, around the time summer begins. And the humidity didn't come in until July. But even still, it wasn't oppressively hot. We've had some pretty much worse summers before. So I don't feel like this is a well-deserved and longed-for break, if that makes any sense. Fall was always kind of like a break in the heat, and it was pleasant and it was nice, but it's kind of a little cold. That said, in all fairness to the weather, I really don't get up and out until, much later in the day, usually. So I don't remember what 6 o'clock in the morning feels like. But when I step out to take the dog out, I'm getting like flashbacks to going out for the bus before school. So I'm thinking, this has always been the way. I'm just forgetting it. But anyway, it gets nice during the day, and there's no humidity, which is lovely. The humidity is the worst part, let's be honest. Eric says, possibly dumb question, but are the stickers the same as the super likes? And does YouTube take any proceeds from them? I don't know what the stickers are. You'd have to try it and see if it asks you how much you want to give. Yes, YouTube, of course YouTube takes. So like a $25 super like, or $20 whatever is like, I don't know, 19 and change. So they take a little bit, but of course they take something, yes. Tom, yes, we'll be there on Thursday. All right, great. See you then. Jennifer says it would be awesome if you ever get Donnie Wahlberg to come on. Well, Jennifer, I tell you, he's one of my goals because I figured a certain half of the audience, or technically 30% of the audience, would enjoy that. But also, I have to tell you, when I saw his name in the credits, the first time I watched Band of Brothers, I was like, how good could this be if a New Kid on the Block is in it? And I was very surprised and very impressed. I was like, holy shit, this guy's an actor. So, yeah, I would love to have him on. And I would love to have Damian Lewis. I'd love to have any of them on, because I think they all did fantastic. And considering the fact that like 50 or 60% of them were English, and they played Americans really well with the accents and everything, I would love to sit and talk with these guys. I love Band of Brothers. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And for a couple of years, I watched that incessantly. When I got sick of watching Gettysburg, I watched Band of Brothers over and over and over again. And it's just such a great series. It would be awesome if you ever go. Oh, yeah, okay. And then Marie says, the guy who plays Jamie Fraser in Outlander, yummy. Oh, is that guy with the Scottish accent? I didn't know. Ross McCall, that played Liebgott, has a pronounced Scottish accent. Scottish. Amazing. Also is, I think you're saying also, is a funny as hell guy. Yeah, I kind of get that sense just by the way he delivers certain lines. Marie says, I listened to the episode you did with Reverend Dr. Hale. That was very interesting. Thank you. Yeah, she's very nice. Oh, I saw you left a comment. I think she lives here now. I bumped into her the other day, or August, I think this was, and had a conversation with her. I get the sense that she was, she lives here now. Call it Between the Bergs with Matthew Callery. What's the wit there, Ghost? What do you mean Between the Bergs? What's the other berg? Thomas Canavan says Thursday the 19th, that is. Gotcha. Yes. Eric says, I enjoy your interviews, so I would like to listen to whomever you talk to. All right, thank you, Eric. Marie says, I would go along for the ride, Matt. Okay, thank you, Marie. Tom says, also, SB also. Elizabeth, what? Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be. Donnie Wahlberg has been in Boston running his burger place, Wahlburgers. Yeah, that's cool. BKW morning. Was driving when you started. I'm now on the train to Chicago. Be careful. Ty Webb says, I thought the same thing when I saw David Schwimmer. Oh, yeah. Jimmy Fallon was kind of amateurish, but thank God he only had one part. Now, of course, you're going to stand here in my way, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, yeah. You got to take your pictures. How do you get your pictures? Yeah, and see, this is what happens with the ghost tours. Nobody says, hey, guys, move. Okay, yep, no, just wander around like geese. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that's right. Gotta get your picture of Robert E. Lee. Okay. The Wahlberg boys are multi-talented. Yeah, I mean, Marky went from rapper to actor. Yeah, they both, well, both of them. Yeah, they went from music to acting to hamburgers. It's very easy to be multi-talented when you make a lot of money, because that gives you time. Money equals time, and time equals money. But either way, yeah. So you can indulge those desires and those interests and take up hamburgers. Oh, and Donnie meet up with the guys from Easy Company Beer not too long ago. Through my lens, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Between two I gotcha, okay. Do you have a car horn using? Nah, this is the natural habitat for the Tauron. So, you know. La la la. Hey Ghost, no way. Yeah, I wasn't in a hurry. You know what it is? Well, you know me. Human behavior fascinates and annoys the hell out of me. So, there's like a car coming, a car moving. One guy sees me. He backs up, but he doesn't say, hey guys, move out of the way. He backs up. Happens the guy next to him sees him in his periphery. He looks, he backs up. And then everybody else just kind of gradually realizes it, because it's so important to get that photograph that A, is not going to come out good because you don't know how to take a picture, and B, you're probably never going to put anywhere. It's going to stay on your camera roll, and you'll look at it and go, oh yeah, what was this again? So, you know. Daytime is Taurons, nighttime is ghost hunters. Yeah. What's that line from Goodfellas? Friday nights are for girlfriends. Or was it Friday nights are for the wives, but Saturdays are for the girlfriend? I don't know, something like that. BKW says, if you ever get Wahlberg on, he may not know it, but he lives in the same city that Camp Kane was in, which was a training site for the 8th Cavalry, responsible for the first shot at Gettysburg. 8th Illinois Cavalry. Wait, doesn't he live in Boston? They were trained in Boston? Or were they trained, does he live in Chicago? I thought Wahlburgers was in Boston. I thought he lived in Boston. Is he married to what's-her-face still? Jennifer McCarthy? Man, that sun is bright. No wonder they tell you not to look at it. All right, we're gonna go around. Takes more than a meltdown to show us how. I can't read any comments with the sun in my eyes, so I have to wait until I get in the shade. Tom says, so has to yell car. It's a, yeah, that's what we did too. Everybody just goes, car, and then everybody, car. Sometimes the girls will be playing, I don't know, wiffle ball or something in the street, and the girls would be on the, grass playing with their dolls or whatever, and they'd see the car first, they go, car, C-A-R. Us Dopey Boys still married to Jenny McCarthy. Oh my God, that son. Not Boston. They live 35 miles west of Chicago. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he went back to Boston. Okay, he lives in St. Charles, but is in Illinois, but goes to Boston a lot for the restaurant. Got it. Boston. There's another accent that I just can't get used to. That's a toughin'. We got a what do they call it? It's a buffet with a hutch type of a thing off of Amazon last night, and it comes in 2 boxes, and you have to put every little freaking piece of this thing together, drawers, the whole thing. And I hate Amazon furniture, IKEA furniture, that with you gotta have the Allen wrenches and the stupid screws and the dowels and the whatever the hell those things are that hold the, I don't even know what the other called. Just, all the little pieces and the tools. And now, I guess it's because they go to so many different countries, the booklet would be, the size of a dictionary, so they don't write the directions anymore. Just do pictures. And that's fine, because even when they write the directions, I just look at the pictures anyway. But like certain things, there's always like this nuance in one step or another, where it looks a certain way, and then you put it in the way you think it's supposed to go, and then you're like, this isn't making sense. I don't understand. Why isn't this working right? And then you look at the thing closer, and you realize, oh, the depth percent, like the 3D of the image is not as clear as it could be, and then you finally get it. So last night, we get it, and I say to Cindy as a joke, I'm like, well, I guess this needs to be put together. And I go into the other room, and she starts unpacking it. And I go, oh, God damn it, I was joking. Because the last thing I want to do when I come home at the end of the day is put together a piece of Chinese-made Amazon furniture. The last thing I want to do. But I'm like, okay, whatever. She's putting, let's do it. And then there's 400 pieces strewn out on the floor. Major thinks it's 400 toys. And I'm sitting on the floor, on the rug, and I'm putting this thing together. I get up to get a drink at some point, and I'm smelling like dog pee, and I'm like looking around on the floor. We have all these those faux hardwood floors they have now. So I'm looking for puddles. I don't see anything, but I notice my butt is wet. And apparently, when no one was looking, she had stole a piddle on the rug, and I sat in it, not knowing, and I was like, God damn it. So I changed my shorts, come back down and move where I'm sitting, and continue to put it together. But I have a bad back, ladies and gentlemen, and so I'm sitting Indian style on the floor. I'm putting these things together, fighting with the poorly constructed construction of the things. There's one point where I'm screwing on these rails, tracks for the drawers, and they're tiny screws with shitty screw holes started in the wood, and no room for my fingers to hold it, because it's one thing, well, whatever. So I'm like really struggling to get these things. It's just getting on my nerves. The dog is running around thinking everything's a toy. Cindy's like, Major, no, but and finally I'm like, you know what? This is waiting till Monday. I got too much on my plate this week. I'm stressed the frig out from this weekend, or for this weekend. I'm done. I'm done. I can't do any of this crap until everything is over, and Monday has to be the day. And so I go upstairs and I take a shower. Oh, because that's the other thing. My ass cheek was itching from the piss. so I run upstairs and I take a shower, and that calms me down and relaxes me. And I come downstairs and I'm like, I'm sorry you saw me act like a little bitch. And she's like, no, it's understandable. I understand. I go, no, it's not. It's not. It's unbecoming, and it is not the way I act. And I've just had enough. I'm under too much stress between still moving, still having work to do, no help with it, and what? Oh, the movie event's coming up this weekend, and I'm not nervous about the panel. I'm nervous about missing out on everything else, and I want to try to get some interview. It's just too much. It's just a reminder also of how not very significant in the history community I am, and so. It's just too much on my mind, too much stress. Cannot deal with that type of furniture. And I said, next time we want a piece of furniture, we're going to the antique stores and we're going to see what they have there. And we're going to take it home in one giant piece, and I will find somebody to help us move it, and that'll be it. I'm not putting this crap together again. I hate it. So that was my evening. So then, so there's more to the story. So then we had dinner at like 8:30, and I apologized, and then she's like, well, let me try it. And I said, no, let's put it aside. I'll do it either tomorrow after work or Monday, if whatever. As long as you're not in a hurry to have it done. She's like, no, I didn't need you to do it now. And I said, I know, it's just you look so happy when I said, might as well do it. You went right over and started unpacking it. I thought you wanted it done. So I did it. She's like, no, just next time, just tell me you don't want to do it. And I go, like, I am so unused to that. I've never known a woman to not look at a man as a slave. So that's, new to me. And anyway, so then after dinner, she's like, all right, I'm going to try to do some more of it. And then she was getting frustrated with it. Those things are annoying. They're annoying. And I guarantee you it'll fall apart in a year. Let's see, there's a lot of comments there. Okay, Toron. Marie's laughing at Toron. Daytime. Okay, got that. Scottish accents, Marie. I was in Glasgow for 3 days and didn't understand one word. Yeah. Okay, Wahlberg. Someone's got a yell. Okay, did that one. Thomas Myers. Okay, got that. Jenny McCarthy. Loves Sickles. Who doesn't love Sickles except Gary and Tim? Yeah, so living in St. Charles, Illinois. Okay, yeah, got that. Lewis Trott. No offense, as I'm not sure. Yeah, it's L-E-W. He spells it that way. I know Donnie spends a lot of time in NYC when he films Blue Blood. Ah, yes, I forgot that's still on. Yes. I don't really watch network television, so... Wait, is that a CBS show? My daughters played softball in the park. That is what was Camp Kane. I used that as an insult when in Boston. Say car. Oh, car. Boy, did they get mad. Well, what's a car? I like the white stuff, baby, in the middle of an Oreo. Ah, Weird Al. In the middle of an Oreo. Ghost says, I was doing electrical work at a certain rich dude's house. and his wife asked me to build IKEA furniture because he is good with money and famous, but isn't handy. I told her to pay me hourly rate. Yeah, Ghost, I think not really, well, not famous or good with money, but I have that temperament. I'm like, I spend too much time in my head all day working on whatever I'm working on. When I come home, I need to just zone out. I can't think of anything. It's not that I can't do anything, but if I do something, it has to be something that's easy and gives me joy, or peace. Like, so putting a piece of Chinese-made furniture together, while the directions are like 60 pages long, by the way. There's like 30 million steps to it, and it's all pictures, and you got to really look carefully. There was one point where Cindy was putting it together according to how it looked at first glance, and she's like, I'm not getting this. I don't know why this isn't lining up. And finally I realized it I don't know how to explain it, but the picture made it look like the one piece was like a little board was hovering over the wider panel and indicating that you were to put the screw through the board into the panel. But the board was already, it came screwed to the panel. And there was a second hole, but it didn't fit the screw in the board. And so she's like, I don't understand this. And I go, I'm looking at it. Then I realized the line that is pointing from the screw floating in the air down to the board was actually pointing to the other screw holes on the panel itself next to the board. So I was like, oh, no, this is how it is. But like, it was like 10 minutes of the two of us staring at it going, I don't understand why this is. I think it's a trick that the Chinese do to just confound Americans so that we can't pay attention to what they're doing. A lot of things give you a link to the website for instructions. They can't even be bothered to print them anymore. So now you're trying to read what's already fine print on a tiny screen. Exactly. No. Yeah, I know. It's customer service on every level from every freaking company or corporation has just gone down the tubes. Nobody cares. They don't appreciate your business, folks. They expect your business. They know they got you. Where else are you going to go to get quick and easy furniture? But Amazon. So they don't care to sell products that, it's whatever. I don't know. It was the dog pee that really pissed me off because I thought we had the potty training under control. Camp Grant was created by Farnsworth, who was elected to Congress before Gettysburg, but his nephew died. I've heard of blaming farts on the dog, but come on, Matt. No one believes you. Fine. I peed on the floor and forgot, and I sat in it. Billy Gibson. I am a huge ZZ Top fan. So, isn't that the guy's name? Billy Gibson? I'm obviously not a huge ZZ Top fan if I didn't know that. But, yeah. It's great to have a celebrity in here. Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Tom, some IKEA isn't bad, but if you move, it doesn't travel well. No, that's the thing. These pieces of furniture are fine as long as you don't move them from where you put them. The minute you start moving them, they start falling apart. Because it's particle board. It's cheap. It's shit. Yeah, for somehow that particle board is $250. Yeah, so do it piecemeal on large projects. It's the best way if you can't pull up your big boy pants. That was me trying to pull up my big boy pants. And then they got wet. And then my ass cheeks started to itch from the wet. And my back was hurting. And I couldn't pull my big boy pants up any further. If I did, I would have looked like Urkel. And so I just was like, you know what? I'm walking away. I'm walking away before I destroy this stupid cabinet, and we never have one. Jennifer says, yes, Blue Bloods is a CBS show. It sounds like it would be a CBS show. Is that the one with Tom Selleck, too? Oh, yeah, Thomas Mann moved to NBC, to NYC and became police chief. You know what? So, there's the old joke that CBS programming is for old people. And, Tom Selleck is like the big old people star now. The reverse mortgages and stuff. There was a series of, I guess, made-for-TV movies. I don't know, but I found it on Netflix years ago, where he plays a character called Jesse Stone. And, the names of the movies are like, Jesse Stone, Stone Cold. Jesse Stone, Sea Change. Things like that. But I like crime mysteries or whatever set in small towns. I like that. So I said, well, let me try this one. I watched it. I'm like, you know what? This isn't really that bad. It's not that good, but it's not that bad either. And I started watching, and then I watched the next one. I'm like, these are pretty. I like these. And then I realized, holy shit, this is old people programming, and I like it. And by the way, I was like 36, 35, 36. So I wasn't even, that was 10 years ago. Like I wasn't even at the point where I could really start calling myself old like I am now. So yeah. Hello, Eric Koval. How are you? We're talking IKEA, or just like, furniture you get off of Amazon that you got to put together, and just how the directions aren't written in words. They're pictures, not even photographs. They're drawings of how you put the thing together. If it's a 5 to 10 step piece of furniture and they do pictures, that's fine. But when you're at like step 28 and you have to sit and stare and determine or decipher what they're trying to tell you in these pictures, it's mentally exhausting. Eric says, and don't look at it, breathe on it, set anything around it. Oh, yeah, right. No, yeah, you can't. No, don't put any weight on it. Don't breathe on it. Don't move it over to vacuum under it, because it'll start falling apart. Tom Canterman, Blue Bloods has a nice cast. It's just not as factual. Police commish is not a cop. He works for the mayor. Should never be in uniform, but it looks good and tugs heartstrings. There you go. And that's what it's all about. Jennifer said, my dad had a 1940 Ford Street Rod. It was red. Every time he drove that car, people were like, look, it's the ZZ Top car. So we ended getting a dog, and we ended up calling him ZZ Top. That's pretty cool. I think Bobby Bacala has a role on Blue Blood. Yeah, I think he does too. I thought he got hit in that Hobby Train store. But I guess he made it out. That's why I was trying to remember how he died. It was, poor Bobby. And he was trying to be a family man. Poor Bobby. He got mixed up with the wrong people. Ghost, my favorite show, and we'll get lost in Magnum PI marathons. By the time I'm finished, I'm sure shorts and Hawaiian shirt. All right, everybody, I got to go get some breakfast to get back to the studio. I have a meeting this morning at 10 o'clock. It was great to see you. Great to talk to you. Thank you kindly for your patronage. Thank you for your super likes. Thank you for your support, listening and liking and sharing and subscribing and all that stuff. By the way, if you haven't listened, liked, or shared, or subscribed, go ahead and do that now. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.